All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kramer with Bran-Man Brandon, Bryon the Grizzly, and we're going to talk about and review the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie, One Battle After Another. Dropped this weekend. Yeah, we're going to get into our likes. We'll get into our dislikes. We'll give you guys our rating at the end. But if you are in the live chat, let us know what you guys think about this movie. You guys gave it a now later never. So when we get into that, we want to hear what you guys in our live chat are thinking. And if you're watching on replay, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and come and join us when we do movie reviews like this and other fun stuff as well. But before we get into our review, Bryon, you got a quick rundown of what this movie is about?
Sure. Bob is a washed up revolutionary who lives in the state of stone paranoia, surviving off the grid with a spirited and self-reliant daughter Willa. He is the evil nemesis. His evil nemesis resurfaces, and Willa goes missing. The former radical scrambles to find her, and both father and daughter battle the consequences of their past.
Yeah. So we'll start with some of our likes. Brandman, you want to talk about what you like about this one?
Yeah. I like how it throws you in like right out of the gate. Thought the opening sequence was really, really incredible. I loved how chaotic it felt. And I think they kind of maintained that feeling throughout the movie. Even in the more subtle scenes, I really liked the music. I thought the music really fit.
Yeah.
I thought the way that Paul Thomas Anderson shot this movie felt very appropriate. I liked it even like the use of humor, kind of dark humor, really worked because it felt very well placed. It never undercut the overall feel of the movie. I thought that acting all across the board was great. You know, DiCaprio was great. Benicio del Toro was great. Sean Penn was freaking crazy in it.
Mm-hmm.
His character was just just totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I haven't seen too much stuff that Teyana Taylor's been in. I've always liked her, but I thought this role suited her. I thought she was used like just the right amount, and I think that the from the pacing to kind of the narrative structure, definitely. I thought, visually, it was great. There was a lot that worked for me, and which was great because I didn't expect it to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, are you, Bryon? What you like about this one?
I think that Benicio del Toro was something I really enjoyed. I thought that his character overall was something I thought that was this really hit for me. I liked it. I thought it was kind of ironic. Even the stuff he said was very ironical. I just enjoyed that character. I think what's her name? Chase Infiniti. I thought she did a really
she was
excellent job. Everyone's talking about Leo. I think she did the best job in everyone. I mean, Sean Penn, I hated. Great job, I hated, but I also knew. I thought I was going to get to the end, and realize, and they were going to realize that he had nothing to do with this girl at all. And from the beginning, I felt that way. I will say that it was long.
Yeah. 2.5 hours. A little bit over 2.5 hours. No, almost 3 hours.
It's almost 3 hours. And I was like, man, this is a long movie. But I think they did a good job of cutting out some pieces. But the negative, I'll say negative later. But yeah, mostly, I enjoyed the ride there was going on, even though it was a long one.
Yeah. And I'm there with you guys as well. Like, all the acting was great. And even like Chase Infiniti, I had to look her up because she really is not in anything. This is like she was in a few episodes of a TV show, a music video, and then she's in a Paul Thomas Anderson movie with Leo, and she was really good, really good. So definitely like, shout out to her. But then obviously you expect Leo, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro
to be who they are.
to be great actors, and they were, they for everything they were in, they were awesome. They were. I enjoyed all the location shots. Like everything looked good. It felt like you were there, like like in all these like cities, in the shots were great. Like him from going to the hallway into the house of Benicio del Toro's house, all the families there. That shot gorgeous, but Paul Thomas Anderson, that's what he does well. He does that like very, very well.
Dude, even the end of the car scene when they're going up and down. Oh, that
Up and down.
was awesome.
The way it was shot was super cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Super cool the way it was shot. But yeah. I like the idea of this was going to be like the opening scene, like Bran-Man say. I would say opening scene, but it was like the first
30 minutes,
of like, them, being the French 75, I think it was they were called, right? So like, and them actually causing all this ruckus. But yeah, we'll move on to our dislikes. Bran-Man, what are some issues you had?
I think it could have been, if you kind of shaved like 15 minutes off of this movie, I think that would have been that would have been enough for me. It didn't wear out its welcome for me, but it kind of came dangerously close, and I think that's just kind of a thing with Paul Thomas Anderson from time to time. Sometimes he gets a little self-indulgent with the run times, and a lot of it just kind of seems like padding. And I've kind of always felt that way, if I'm being honest, ever since Boogie Nights. I like a lot of his work, but sometimes, especially when he gets to the third act of a movie, sometimes it just kind of feels like excess. That was my big, like, glaring issue with it. I think that even though I thought Teyana Taylor did absolutely fine, like I said, I haven't seen her in enough stuff to really pass judgment on her as an actress. I kind of think that role was kind of interchangeable. A lot of people could have potentially played that role. I think if you got someone who's a little more seasoned as an actress, it really would have made a difference. I think who you casted. I don't know if it was stunt casting or what, but I mean, she was fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is a knock against her as an actress. I thought she was absolutely fine. But the role kind of felt like a little interchangeable, if that makes sense. I think that the Sean Penn character at times was a little bit of a cartoon character for me, a little bit too much of a cartoon character at times. Just a little too, like a little too over the top at times, to where it felt kind of like borderline goofy. But he could have reeled it in just a little bit. But again, overall, I think he was. I thought he was great. He was amusing to watch. He was one of my favorite things about the movie, if I'm being honest. But those are really my only glaring ones.
Yeah. Okay. What were you, Brian?
I know. They sound like complaints without being complaints.
It's like I hate that you're always on time. Yeah. That kind of stuff. Real quick, before you jump in, Brian, some comments saying Leonardo DiCaprio's character was a smarter Big Lebowski. That was funny. Fernando said Sean Penn was a good villain. Yeah. And then yeah. Good. All right. What you got, Brian?
I felt like the plot was overbearing. I feel like there's so much going on. I think that it kind of takes away when I feel like it was in love with itself. movies
Okay.
that are in love with themselves a little bit, and like, oh, I know you're gonna like this. Yeah, but I just thought the plot was just, I don't know. It felt the weight of the plot. You couldn't get any freedom under the weight of the plot because that was all that was going on. I really didn't like Teyana Taylor's character. I understood that she was necessary, but I really didn't like it. I really did not enjoy it. It's not something that um, I just could not get into. And because I didn't like the character, that took away from. But I think she played it the way she was supposed to be played. I don't want you to say that she did a bad job. I didn't like the character.
Mm-hmm.
That's two different things.
Yeah.
I thought sometimes scenes just went on and on when it could have been, all right, we get the point. Let's just get to it. I feel like it just went a little bit long on multiple scenes. Like, maybe this should have been 3 minutes less. This should have been 2 minutes less. We got the point of this. Why are we doing this again?
Mm-hmm.
So, I just sometimes I got taken out of it a little bit because of those things. I think it has some good twists and turns and some good action sequences. But sometimes some things weren't clear why things were happening. It was very kind of confusing. Not for any other reason, but just to be confusing. I'm just going to do this just to be confusing. And I was like, okay, all right. Like, I understand what's happening, but why are you doing this? Why are you kind of become a little bit more convoluted than you need to? But that's basically it. It's not. I don't think it's a masterpiece, but doesn't mean I hate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. For me, like you said, like things dragged on too long. The ending, holy shit, did it drag on forever? Like, as much as I like the up and down of the hills, it was really cool the way it was shot.
She did it for 8 minutes
after the fifth hill. After the fifth hill, I got it. Like there's a horizon and you dip it below, and I get it.
It was one car, then the next car, and then the next car.
Oh,
and then
my God.
trying to figure out which way he went, and then they go back to the car.
Yeah. And then that's not even the ending of the movie. And then it still keeps going. I felt like I'm watching the Batman again. I'm like, how many endings are we gonna get? Like, Jesus. Because then then there's another ending, and then that's not even the ending. Then it gets like ending, I was like, Jesus, man, like I get it, but
it's the Return of the King effect.
Yeah. And I know, like, Tony was asking, like, Teyana Taylor, like, Regina Hall, she just wasn't in the movie enough to really hate her or like her. Like the little part she was in, she was cool, but it was a very little part, Teyana Taylor, like I thought she did an okay job. But I kind of agree with Bran-Man. She was very replaceable. Like, you could have gotten like anybody, any like female actor to come in and kind of do that. But
what guys, I want to say her own personality and what she's known as sometimes kind of worked for that, because that's who they know her as this. So like it kind of, even though she was way bigger, way more than was, it kind of works. I don't think any other character could have done that, because they're not known in this TikTok generation, in this type of generation. I don't know if anyone else could have taken it over like that the same way.
Yeah, she just had this attitude that I thought was like good for her. But also, like, you needed a very attractive black woman, specifically a black woman for this, and she obviously fit it like really well, It just, I kind of agree with Bryan, because there's a part in the movie, early on in the movie, where you're like, there's a lot of shit she does where I'm like, I don't, what? She was just a shitty person, if that makes sense. Just being a shitty person, and then she just becomes shittier and shittier in the first 30 minutes. And then after that, you kind of don't see her anymore in the movie. I don't think you see her again, right?
Not
after the first 30 minutes.
I don't think you hear her letters, but you never see her again. She's alive. That's it.
Yeah. All the way, 3 hours in after the end of the movie, she's still alive. But she was she did it, the role okay. I agree with Bryan. Like, the character was kind of a shitty person. but everything was predictable.
Mhm.
I like right off the bat when she first meets Sean Penn, like in the first 5 minutes, like, and she has him do certain things, stuff
Yeah.
like that. I was like, I know where this is going. I
Mhm.
know, blah blah blah, this and that. Like, I'm like, okay. The only part of the movie that kind of surprised me was when like the white supremacist showed up. I was like, oh, okay, that throws it, but also it made sense. Yeah, I just didn't see it coming. So I was like, okay, and then that just added to, Sean Penn's villainy, even more so. Even his name is Lockjaw. That just sounds like a fucking James Bond villain.
Mhm.
So yeah, so but
Right.
really, I think the biggest issue I had was I was expecting like a revolutionary kind of movie, and it wasn't. After the first, 30 minutes or so, and Teyana Taylor like never comes back,
Mhm.
like
And now
it
those
doesn't.
older people that are just trying to survive from the younger things,
Yeah,
the thing that the younger people did, all except
it
for
just becomes a chase. It just becomes a
yeah.
chase movie. Like, oh, I have to go find my daughter. And I was like,
Mhm.
wait, what happens to the revolution? You know what I mean? And it's like the revolution just kind of became a thing in the background that really didn't matter. So it's like you gave me 30 minutes of like them doing this crazy revolutionary shit, and then that's it.
No, they
Like
gave you 30 seconds of at the end telling you that it's going to happen some more.
yeah, that like it just keeps kind of going, but you know, but like Brian said, like it did some things where I was like, but like I was expecting a revolutionary kind of movie. Like, oh shit, it's gonna be them sticking it to the
Mhm.
government, like the man's evil. And like you got that in the beginning, and then that was it. Then you got 2 more hours of it just being a chase, like him just chasing after his daughter, and it was just like cool, you know, not what I
I thought
wanted,
they were
which I
going to
don't know if
run.
it's on me or not, but
I thought they were going to run together.
same,
I
same.
always thought that was what's going to happen, and not getting that because you get the feeling because being a parent, once again, the parent, I made the mistakes in my past that's affecting you, and now I'm going to do whatever I can to try to save you, and you know,
Hmm.
that's why I thought I was going to get it. I didn't get that, so maybe that affected my opinion of it.
A little bit. I
Mhm.
mean, that's why I'm like,
Maybe.
I don't know if it's a me thing because I expected this, but also from the trailers, I expected it. So
Mhm.
you told me that this is what the movie is, but then I don't know. Yeah. But some quick comments real quick. Benicio del Toro was also great. He was great. He was really great
No,
in this movie.
I loved him.
He's the real
Benicio
dude.
del Toro was one of
He was the real at the end when he's like doing the little dance walking backwards and he's like, oh wait, he goes, I threw away some trash. I had a couple beers, like I'm like, oh, he's the dude that you can give a secret and that he will take it to the grave.
Yep.
Yeah, Taylor's character, on the other hand, oh,
Yeah.
just for the streets.
Jesus, yeah. Fernando said this movie had more endings than Return of the King.
It did. Though. It was just
Uh-huh.
crazy.
One last thing. The villain's ending wasn't very satisfying to me. I was very upset. Like I wanted more of a satisfying ending for the bad guy.
Mhm.
And not for
Am I the
him.
only one who thought that Taylor's character was going to snipe him?
No, I thought that would have been the best way to
That's
do it.
that's what I thought was going to happen. Like
That's what you
though she
think,
did
right?
be in her daughter's life, she didn't do anything right, but at least she killed him.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Like you went after my kid.
And now I got
Like
yeah.
this is the payback. But nope.
And you show that you're not as self-centered now as you've gotten older. Not this stupid letter. How about you just kill him?
Yeah. Yeah.
You sacrifice your own well-being to kill this man who tried to come after your daughter.
That would have been a satisfying ending. The way it was just like, oh, he's
Because it
not
would have
white
redeemed her
supremacist enough for
too.
the white supremacist. It was like, what? Yeah.
It will redeem her whole character.
It,
It'll
it,
make her
it-
the whole family unit kind of make sense. It would
yeah.
just made it work better to me.
Yeah. Agreed. 100% agreed. Yeah. That's why like his ending was not satisfying. As a viewer, I was like, like no. Like when you get like, white supremacists like that and you're like, oh, you need to die a horrible, horrible death. And
Yeah. It just kind of I could definitely see how that was anticlimactic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything else before we get into our ratings? Anything you guys forgot or bring
I
up?
mean, I think that you guys said the cinematography, soundtrack, the pacing,
Soundtrack was good.
all that is amazing. Acting was all that was amazing. So it's I don't know if I like the plot as much as everyone else is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. With that being said, give our ratings. Now, later, never. Now means you got to go check it out right now before it gets spoiled, before it leaves theaters. Later means you wait till it's at home and watch it at home, and never means just skip it completely. Not worth your time or your money. Brand-Man, what you giving one battle after another?
This will be a now for me. Really enjoyed it. I think, like I said, the worst I could say about it is Paul Thomas Anderson kind of got a little self-indulgent with the ending of the movie, as he tends to. But overall, I really liked it. I liked the way that it was shot. I love the acting all around the board. I think the actress who played DiCaprio's daughter has a long career ahead of her after this, because she made quite an impression. I thought it was pretty well balanced. Like I said, it really wasn't registering for me when I first heard about it, until we got closer to release. But I really think that it struck the landing. It's definitely one of my favorite movies of the year so far. I'm probably going to make time to go give it another watch. But yeah, this is absolutely a no for me.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
Man, so I'm not at like definitely now, but I'm also not at like you can wait late to later. I'm more like, if this was like available at home, I say watch it immediately at home. Like immediately, if you're at home, you can watch this. I just don't know if I say that it's a now. I'll give it a low end now. I'll say it's low end now, especially in the movie theater right now. What's out in the movie theaters? Yeah, it could be a now, but I think it's a better at home movie.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't want anyone to say like, yeah, I don't think it is something that I would run out to the movie theaters and watch or watch again.
Yeah,
That's not what it is. So I guess saying that makes it's later. I'm gonna go later. Change it. If I just said that, it has to be later, right? So
you convince yourself. Well, yeah, I'm giving this a later, man. Like this is a movie like watch it at home. It's getting a lot of love. People are great. I think like it's just a better watch at home for me, like than going to the theater. So when you can rent it on Fandango or whatever Voodoo or whatever service you guys use, rent it. It'll probably be out in like what a month anyway, 8 weeks,
The
2
pre-orders,
months.
Digital, yeah.
The pre-orders are already gone. They're already sold out.
Wow, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, so I mean, for me, it was just a later, because the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, cool. It looks cool. Acting's cool. There's some funny moments in it for sure, but it didn't. I'd rather have gone seen Demon Slayer again in theaters. Like that's where I'm at with it. Like, but I do recommend maybe watching it at home. Because it does have some entertainment value. But overall, I was like,
I have it exactly how I felt like about Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, but at least for me, like Killers had more of an importance because of the reality of it all, of the true story side of it all. This one is like cool, you're fighting the government,
but
and then you're just like,
beautifully shot. It's beautifully shot.
It is 100%
well acted. So like you enjoy the soundtrack, you enjoy the cinematography, you enjoy those parts, which is the same things I said about Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I feel like when I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, well, it reminds me of this. And when Oscar season comes around, you're going to see this on there. It's just, do I think it's it?
Yeah. And I know I'm in the minority for this, because this movie is
Killing it.
everyone's loving it. Everyone's loving it. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 96%. With 303 critic reviews, it's a 96%. And then with the audience, with 2,500 plus verified, 85%, which is crazy. Over on Letterboxd, it's in a 4.5 average right now, which is super high. I think on Letterboxd I give it like a 3.5 or something like that. Like it was
It's
good.
better than 3. I give it 3.5.
I think I gave it a 3.5, but I think it was somewhere like, for me, that's where it was.
Mhm.
Where it was good, but it's not like, I just didn't see like the greatness of the story like other people are seeing it, because
No,
Yeah.
I agree. That's where I don't think the story was that great. I think the acting and all the other stuff was really, really good.
Yeah.
But the story,
I wanted to see a revolutionary fight. I wanted to see Leonardo and his daughter going and like fighting the government, like
trying to get
what-
away with it and
Yeah.
doing things and opening her eyes to who he used to be, and then trying to protect her. And I think that would have been very entertaining.
Yeah.
That's what I thought we were getting.
Yeah.
Wasn't.
That's our review. It's all our thoughts. Some of you guys in our live chat as well give your opinion. But we want to hear from you. So if you're watching our replay, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, let us know what you thought about One Battle After Another. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate, I'm sure it is too, with like I'm not enjoying it. Yeah, I know, right? But leave a comment, let us know. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, like I said. Appreciate all you guys in the live chat. We want you guys to stick around, because we're gonna move on to our next topic for the night.